What up everyone, it's your boy I Sleep Too Late, and here we are once more playing some vintage on MTGO. We won the die roll, which is always good. We're gonna go first. Hopefully we get a good hand here, and it looks like we do get a good hand. This is pretty solid. We've got Black Lotus, we've got Cavern of Souls. You'll love to see it. An uncounterable combo for sure. We'll keep this hand. Hopefully they don't counter the Black Lotus. I'm hoping they don't. They are a Lurrus deck, so it's quite possible we're gonna see a Force of Will turn one. But we gotta play to our outs here. Alright, so they let it resolve. We're gonna go ahead and name Archon here. And we're gonna go ahead and see how far this goes. Always remember when you're doing this to tap for the first to use the mana that is uncounterable, because you could easily like float mana and then use the Black Lotus mana and then get countered, right? So you got to be careful of that. Alright, so then they're gonna play a land, we're gonna wasteland it. They've got Mox Pearl, and that's all they can do pretty much. We're gonna go ahead and wasteland this. The Volcanic Island, that's gonna get rid of their blue source. And we are wasting no time here. Gonna try to bring down the beats and see if we can get any further here on our mission. Alright, so they're getting a Mox every turn. So the Wasteland isn't doing a whole lot, but actually it's doing a lot, right? Because they would have had like 3 mana this turn. We're gonna shut them down once again with the Wasteland. Alright, so they still don't have any blue mana, which is good. We're going to keep the pressure on them. And hopefully, next turn we'll resolve an Archon again. If not, we can Void Mirror, but we're hoping that they got nothing to do here. And that is the case. Alright, so we're going to just attack, I think. They probably don't have Lightning Bolt or anything like that. They are a jeskai deck. Alright, let's go here. I actually don't know what the jeskai lists run. I've played against the jeskai Lurrus deck in the past, but I'm not familiar with the archetype, as well as like blue-black Lurrus. Alright, so they're going to concede here. Good for us, but we also don't know like what pieces they are on. I'm thinking if I were a betting man, Void Mirror would be good. Let's see here. Source of Plowshares would probably be good. But I do remember, like, not really sideboarding at all against these strip matchups. Like, Chalice is probably something that we could cut for, like, another Void Mirror. So I'm going to do that. I don't know enough about their deck to want to bring in Null Rod, but I mean, obviously they're on Black Lotus and stuff, but that would hurt us equally. So I'm inclined to just ship this and see how we do. I think that the Chalice out of the sideboard, into the sideboard, or out of the main deck and into the sideboard is probably the right play. But yeah, I'm not sure exactly what type of flavor they're on here. Alright, so they're going to go first. This is not keepable. I want to say just no threats until turn 3. Yeah, it's not good enough. This is a much better hand because we got Chancellor, we got a little bit of power here. I consider Chromox to be power. Yeah, let's keep it. And what do we ditch here? Probably the second Cavern. No, well, yeah, because yeah. We got to do that, and then Chancellor is going to get revealed. Alright, so they're going to play like a Mox or something, I'm thinking. Yeah. So Chancellor doesn't do a whole lot on turn 1, but it does prevent them from like going off with 2 mana here. I mean, they could easily play another Mox or Black Lotus or something, but we're hoping that isn't the case. Alright, good. So in this situation, it makes sense for us to... ooh, actually, we got double duty here. We can wasteland them. That's gonna prevent them from, like, dazing us, or... Not that that's, like, a very prevalent strategy in Vintage. More prevalent in Legacy, I want to say. We'll pitch to Chancellor, and then... Let's just do this main phase. I'm not even going to bother. I just want to get rid of this thing. Their Mox Ruby is probably their best Mox because they cast it first. So I'm assuming that this is going to hurt them. And the Wasteland probably hurts them more than it hurts me. But again, we need to find a mana source here. Otherwise, we're just kind of... Otherwise, it's not going to be good. And I think we're going to probably start the game off with an Anointed Peacekeeper. Alright, that's fine. They're going to force here. What do they pitch? Oh, a Flame of Anor. Okay. So they are pretty... They're pretty hard on the red, I think. A lot more aggressive on the red than usual jeskai lists. I'm sure that Flame of Anor is a card that they play, but... Okay, so we got a real game now. This is a little scary. Because now they have 3 mana and they can use another. They can get another Flame of Anor, and maybe draw 2 cards. Oh, stock up. That's good too. All right. Well, I think that's it for their turn. Hopefully, unless they find like a Black Lotus or something scary. All right. So we know that they got the stock up. We know they cast it. All right. This is a very good. This is a very good mana crypt. I want to... So I think the play is still to Anointed Peacekeeper them, but I know I want to at least cast the Mana Crypt, right? But if I cast the Clarion Conqueror, then I'm just completely out of the game. So... And I don't want them to Force of Will the Anointed Peacekeeper. I'd rather they force the Clarion Conqueror. So I'm going to just name Human here. And hopefully... Yeah, I think I'm going to name Human and then just have this be uncounterable. I don't care too much about the mana as much as I do about the cards in hand. Alright, so they got Force of Will. Alright, so honestly, the Force of Will is probably the scariest card, but they have the mana to cast things with it. They can pitch, so it's not like it's a big deal. More importantly, they have a Thunder Trap Trainer, which they can cast, but we can make them cast it for 4 mana. I think that's probably good. Yeah, because the Force of Will isn't like too menacing. I just want to make sure I got the name right. Thunder Trap. Thunder Trap Trainer. And then we'll just pass the turn here. So we know there are 3 cards. Hopefully they lose to Crypt. I see my opponents win. Yeah, I see my opponents beating Crypt way more than... I see myself losing like all my Crypt rolls, and my opponent always like consistently wins their coin flips. Alright, so they're going to cast this Thunder Trap for 4 mana, I'm assuming. And hopefully they miss on the Force. Oh, what are they scheming here? 5 mana. Did they mean 4 mana here? Unless they're... Oh, they're trying to get... Ooh! That was a doozy. Alright, well, the good news is they have 2 Thunder Traps in hand. And they both cost like 4 mana. But they're going to recast all their Moxen. Yeah, this is scary. Alright, well they played the other fetch lands, so we at least know that they have like 2 Thunder Trap Trainers, a Force of Will, a Scalding Tarn. So we know like 2 of their cards. Okay, there's one of them, and they paid the extra mana for it. Alright, so they got a Source of Plowshares. That's going to be a little scary. So then there's really no point in casting this Clarion if it's just gonna die, right? I don't feel too comfortable with this game. I mean, I know they have swords here. I think I still want to cast the Clarion. It's just like, or no, I probably don't. I probably let them swords the Anointed Peacekeeper. Yeah, because I mean they're just gonna like them swordsing the Clarion Conqueror is just going to make me lose the game. I'd rather them swords the Anointed Peacekeeper and apply pressure with the Clarion. Hopefully we can find like a threat other than Clarion, honestly. Because right now it's not looking too great. They have 7 cards in hand. If they're going to cast another Thunder Trap for 4 mana, I'm going to be happy, but... Okay, they're going to use Flame of Anor here. And they're going to get rid of my Mana Crypt. Well, that was something I was going to lose to anyway. And they're going to leave Swords to Plowshares mana open. This is not good. Alright, well there's... Okay, getting rid of Scalding Tarn. Okay, so they still have Force of Will. Yeah, and that was the other thing. The Force of Will was going to counter the Clarion anyway. So, like, what's the point in casting it if it's just going to get answered immediately? Alright, I'm down to Wasteland the Tundra, but I'd rather Wasteland the Tolarian Academy, honestly. Because that's just giving them, like, all the mana in the world. Even though white mana is scary, I still think that's probably the best thing to do. They don't have Stifle, do they? What is this? Interesting. Wow. That was really interesting. I know about this card. I didn't expect it to see play in this game. Well, that pretty much puts me out of the game, so I'm going to concede. Let's not waste any time here. Wow, Redirect Lightning. That came out of nowhere. All right, well, let's see here. What do we want to bring in against this deck? I still don't know, honestly. I mean, we could bring back the Chalice. The Null Rod probably makes more sense now because their deck is all about artifacts and stuff. But, you know, what would we take out? Probably a Seasoned Engineer. And, like, Anointed Peacekeeper was okay. It was slow. And they had answers to it. So, I think that maybe just... Yeah, I don't like Anointed Peacekeeper against decks that have, like, a bunch of removal. And Seasoned Engineer is a 4-mana card that is great, but... It's 4 mana and it comes on a turn too late sometimes, I find. Alright. I think going first is like very critical in this matchup. Alright, this is not a keepable hand, I don't think. We're gonna strip mine them and then we have 1 land and then no. It's not gonna happen. Alright, this is a better hand because we have, like, Null Rod and stuff. Yeah, let's keep this. I always say that we only need, like, 1 Ancient Tomb. We need, like, 4 in the deck, but I always say that, like, it's a good idea to just keep 1. I mean, yeah, we can lose to Wasteland, but I think that this is way more threatening. Ooh, someone's driving outside. Alright, let's go ahead and F6 here. I expect this... Oh, okay, I was thinking it would get countered, but looks like it's not. Let's see what they got here. So with Null Rod in play, I'm feeling a lot more confident. But they could still very well, like, find ways to... I mean, they could counter the Clarion if I cast that. I am thinking I cast the Clarion, though. Oh yeah, we gotta Wasteland that Tolarian. Let's see what their reveal is. Flame of Anor. Okay. Well, I think we're just gonna have to wasteland the Tolarian and then just say go. Can't give them like 2 blue mana every turn. That's like just not appropriate. It does put us down a turn, and they have a 1/2, but I don't really care too much about a 1/2. I'd much rather like deal with the Tolarian Academy early, because that already puts them ahead. Having 1 mana here, we're gonna go. I'm assuming they don't have a Force of Will, otherwise they would have forced the Null Rod. And White Plume isn't really as good now that like we take the initiative, right? But we already have our basics, and we already have Null Rod, so Clarion isn't as good. So I'm gonna just Anointed Peacekeeper right now. It has Vigilance. It can block a 1/2 just fine, and I really don't think they have a counter spell, do they? I'd be really surprised if they did, because yeah, I mean they would have countered this by now. Oh, they do have a Force of Will. Okay, never mind. That's actually good because we can start putting pressure on with White Plume. And yeah, I mean, this is still really good for them. They get the Time Walk. We know they have Flame of Anor, so that's the only other card in their hand. And I don't know what Saga gets them with a Null Rod in play, but they do have Flame of Anor, so this can deal with artifacts, right? Yeah. So we actually do... Okay, so we have to think about this for a second, because Flame of Anor changes the equation a bit. Oh, actually, Vexing Bauble helps a little bit. Alright, let's do it. Let's do Vexing Bauble. And... I kind of want to just... I mean, what are the chances that they have a 3rd mana, right? That they draw another land? I don't think it's very high. But I think that we can probably do this and be okay. Alright. I don't think they're on... Or I think it's safe for us to just F6 here, because I don't think they're on wheels. You really only want to be on wheels if you're on like Orcish Bowmasters and stuff. But let's see what they do here, because this is a little bit scary. Alright, they didn't get the Flame of Lenore, which is great. All they have is a 1/2. We can forge. Alright, this is perfect. Now that they're stuck on... They're stuck with a Flame of Lenore on 1 card. So I think I should actually Lost Wall, because I know they have removal for this White Plume, right? No, I think it still makes sense to bring down the beats. We're an aggro deck, and we really need to apply pressure. Yeah, we need to apply pressure, otherwise we're just going to lose. This is 5 damage. This card is so good. Alright, and then I'm down to just cast this and force them to make more decisions with the Flame of Anor once they have it. They're going to have to make a decision here. And they'll probably attack if they draw a 3rd mana. Okay, they're gonna cast Flame of Anor, right? But what are they gonna use it on? Oh, stock up. Okay, so I guess they don't care about Flame of Anor, about using Flame of Anor. I mean, what would they even target here, right? It's a good question. I think that they don't care about Vexing Bauble as much because they don't have Force of Will, or the chances of them having Force of Will is unlikely. And like, what are they gonna counter? I have one card in hand. Trap them. Alright, let's see what we got here. I guess we'll play our land. Here's the thing. They're gonna Flame of Anor and then they're gonna attack. And they're gonna get the initiative, right? If I attack, that same outcome happens, and if I don't attack, that outcome happens still. So I think it makes sense for me to just attack them, honestly. And just apply pressure. Okay, they're gonna block, which is great, because that means I get to untap. Yeah, and if I untap the White Plume, if they attack, if they deal 5 damage to White Plume, they still have to deal with Clarion stopping them from activating their artifacts, right? So they have options that are like both bad in a sense. And we're gonna archive next turn, so we're gonna draw a card. We'll see, we'll see 2 cards next turn, and hopefully one of them will be like an initiative card. And we have the Cavern for uncounterable stuff. But I'm not too concerned about uncounterable because we got the Vexing Bauble. Alright, Boomerang. That's fine. I don't care too much about that because they still have, like, to deal with the Null Rod. Alright, that's actually not... I don't mind that. They are going to get the initiative here, but... like, I don't really care too much about that, honestly. What we can do is we can use our planes to recast the Clarion. And, alright, so they still have Flame of Anor, right? Yeah, we know what they have. Here's a Seasoned Dungeoneer. That's really good. That's going to get us the initiative back, and then we're going to draw a card. We don't even need Clarion here because we have the Null Rod. So let's do... what is this? Cleric? Oh, it's a warrior. Let's go human here. 1, 2, 3, and then just 1 more mana. All right, looking good, looking good. Force them to have it, I guess. Oh, and another White Plume. We can save. Let's save the White Plume. Actually, no, let's not save the White Plume, because we can just go Throne right now, right? And then we'll have even more threats. I love it. I love this. I love this deck. It just works. Yes! There you have it, folks. You love to see it. Mono White Initiative against jeskai Lurrus. Once again, this is a take 2. I believe that this is the second matchup I've had since the beginning of Avatar: The Last Airbender. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, feel free to send me a like and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out.